Want to play in fun, competitive tournaments? The ACGT Tour has taken San Antonio amateur golf to a whole new level. See AlamoCityGolfTrail.com to register for our next event.
Hey golfers, it's Weston. We're here at San Pedro Practice Facility, and I'm behind hole number 8 here. I'm short-sided, which means I don't have a whole lot of green to work with. The green's a little elevated, so I'm gonna hit a higher shot. I'm actually gonna hit a flop shot. So I'm gonna go over a few do's and don'ts of the flop shot, show you how I hit it. All right, so when I hit a flop shot, there's a few things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna control the trajectory of my shot with the width of my stance. And what I mean by that is when I hit a high soft shot, I like to have a wide stance, stable base. And when I hit a lower shot, maybe like a bump and run style, I'm gonna have a narrower stance. So a low shot, narrow stance, high shot, wide stance. Something I go with, it's very simple for me. A few other things we're gonna do is with our setup, instead of having the hands forward like we would on most chip or pitch shots, we're actually gonna have our hands pretty much up and down, perpendicular to the ground. You see that angle between the ground and the club, how that's perpendicular? So that's pretty much straight up and down, or even with my sternum, however you wanna look at it. So I've got a nice wide stance, club's gonna be about in the middle of my stance, and I'm gonna have a nice wide open club face. So if this were square, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate that club face open. So you can imagine setting a glass of water on there, okay? So I have a nice wide club face, or I'm sorry, nice wide stance, open club face, the middle of my stance there. And now that it's open, now I'm gonna grip it. That's important. Most people have the tendency to take their normal grip with the club face square and then open it. That's not gonna work because in our swing, we're gonna rotate and close that club face. In a flop shot, we're gonna keep that face open the whole time. Okay, so it's real important that we set the club face open and then we grip it. That way we keep the club face open throughout the swing. So it's just gonna look very simple, nice and wide, long, fluid swing, okay? If I'm gonna hit a high shot, I'm gonna have a high hands with my follow through. And then one more point of emphasis with the setup is instead of setting up square to the target, I'm actually gonna set up my feet and my body open to the target, so aiming left of the target. Now the club face also open, I'm gonna swing down the line. So I'm swinging down my target line, but I'm set up open to the target, okay? Very similar to a bunker shot. So what that's gonna look like is something like this. All right, golfers, now I've shown you the shot a few times. I've given you a few points of emphasis on the setup and how to execute this shot properly. Now, before you go out and try and hit it 3 or 4 times in your next round of golf, make sure you practice it, okay? Go out to your nearest driving range, come out to San Pedro or to one of our golf courses, go to the short game facility area and start practicing. Hit a couple of shots, hit a few dozen, hit a few hundred. The more comfortable you get with it, the more often you'll be able to execute this properly on the golf course. So go out there, practice, have a great time, and I'll see you next time.